happy to see you. It's been a minute. I feel like,
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't caught up in a little bit. And happy belated birthday, Capricorn.
thank you. Thank you. When's your
You're
birthday? You're not a
welcome.
Capricorn, are you?
No, I am a Earth sign though. August 29th, Virgo.
This is why I
Yeah.
love you so much. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
I appreciate that because it's either hit or miss, and I don't care either way. But I'm like, look, it's either you love me or, and that's fine. Either way is good. I love me.
I get it. Listen,
I
I
love
just
me. Well, let's talk about you. We are official. This is the Style Therapy Podcast, and we're just going to go ahead and just start in with Miss Nina B of the 52-week experience. And we've known each other for a little bit. I feel like you knew me before I was a mom, before I was a wife, and I feel like you did.
I think we knew of each other for sure, but I think we really connected after some of those
Yeah.
things. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting though when you meet someone in one season of your life and then you just kind of just continue to stay connected through different seasons. And I've seen your many different seasons. So before we get into the thick of the things, go on, introduce yourself, girl.
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Who am I? I would say once upon a time, Nina was a full-time entrepreneur who was in the mix of everything, hospitality, bartending, serving, events, then who became an author, the curator of the 52-week experience. So Nina B. Bartending and hosting services has transitioned to Nina B. Events because she is also an event planner who's also now a full-time event planner. Just an all-around lover of life. I'm really not the best at speaking about myself, but yeah, just me.
Well, listen, I mean, because I'm going to give the full rundown and gamut of your bio before, like, I get into the thick of the episode. So, the
Goodness.
reason why I asked you that is because I know that you are a person that doesn't fit in the box. For as long as I've known you, I feel like you've been very well versed at just taking care of people through different modalities and just even sharing your journey of healing out loud through. I have my 52 weeks for you and I journal here for my sir and I. Yes, I pulled it out. I know I pulled it out.
Yeah.
I know it's, but I think what I've I
You know
know,
what?
I know, I know. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get
Okay.
there. But ultimately, I feel like I appreciate you so much because you've always documented your journey and your practice and process for other people to see. And while we know that is, it's you're in a different season now.
Yeah.
Those
I don't know who
tools
them
are,
people are.
but ultimately, look, when you
Like,
created it.
man, I don't know who that.
We ain't even gonna go there. Look, but nonetheless, your intention during that season, it was so much love and it was so much authenticity in terms of how you would to approach being in relationships. So I say all that to say, like, the projects and things that we create, while we may look back and be like, "Ooh," they still represent a time in our lives, and those times are needed. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we have to go through the things to really realize and understand what we want for ourselves.
Yeah.
Even if we've gone through some stuff that's just like, "I don't like that." Great, now you're clear about what you do want for yourself.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I guess my biggest question for you is right now in the season, what are you growing through?
Ooh.
I know I
Um,
mean to
she
sit.
she dropped it really early. I'm not even mad at you because people have done this, like, have come back to me like, "Girl, you got real heavy in that edition real fast."
Mhm,
Growing through, I am practicing more of what I preach. I have always desired for people to maintain their authentic self after you have to find out who you are. And
mhm,
I am in a space of adventure. I am in a space of discovery, and I am growing through the people who won't come along. I'm
mm,
growing through, really having to do it on my own and figure it all out, sometimes by myself. When I packed up and moved, about 2 hours away, I made it difficult to run to a comfort zone. I made it difficult for others to be able to come and save me. And I started over. And in that, it's some loneliness. Um, so I'm having to grow through, life not being what I thought it would have been at this point.
mm,
So I'm growing through those are the two major things that I'm going through. Having to do it on my own and being on my own, and then also accepting that this is what it is right now and it's not what I had hoped for it to be, what I thought it would be, and so on and so on.
I gotcha. It's interesting that you say that. I've been having these conversations often about how the world is like looking like not what we thought it was going to be. And a lot of these systems that we invested into partnership, marriage, getting a good government job or what have you, are now kind of slowly crumbling before our eyes. So I would like to name that I don't think you're alone and just really looking and growing through the space of like, well, wow, what is life? And just really leaning into the fact of, well, I know for me, I get my solace in knowing that I can create it, but it's a process. But it's definitely weird watching things crumble and what you thought would be not be the way that you would think it is. It's just all processing. So you're not alone in that. I just want to say that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and I feel like when I'm transparent, that's when I learn that other people deal with stuff too. And
Hmm.
I always encourage people to like don't be ashamed of your journey
Yes.
because you're not the only one that's walking it. You may not be with those people physically, but you're definitely with someone. And all it takes is sometimes for people to just open their mouths. I still get messages to this day, with people who I've never met in person who pray for me, especially after
Mm,
like my mom passed. And I
hmm.
was always so vocal and verbal about how I was feeling when I was feeling it. And, the public got to see someone who you never knew felt anything become so broken in front of everybody's face. But they also got to see me bounce back. They also got to see me move forward and even me moving away. Like, I didn't even have a place when I had my house packed up.
Mm.
Just taking a huge, huge chance on myself and my faith to just go. People have been seeing that. So, yeah, transparency is not a terrible thing.
It's not.
It definitely allows people to have community.
I agree. And I think even as it relates to building community, for me, it starts singularly with authenticity within self. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
think you've done a great job in terms of being authentic and vulnerable and sharing so that you can attract more people who are seeing themselves in your journey. So take us through the 52-week experience and what encouraged you and inspired you to create that series.
I will say it was one year I had a car crash, and the next year, almost to the day my mom passed, and I was still trying to function as if life really wasn't moving around me. And not to mention 2 months before my mother passed, my biological father passed as well. And I think that I was building my body and my mind was building a level of anxiety and trauma that, if I did not deal with it, it was going to implode at some point. And then when you fast forward and I decided to get married, I didn't even remember the day. I was anxious in a room full of people that I knew, and loved and loved me and
Hmm.
things I realized things that I used to love, I could not do anymore. Going to the farmer's market was something that I would do all the time by myself, traveling by myself, going to dinner and shows by myself. I wasn't able to do. I was very anxious and like unnerved just even by the thought of it. And what
This
I
was
did
this was
realize,
after you I'm sorry to interrupt. This was after you got married or before? Because you said something about marriage. I'm just trying to make sure I'm
yep,
following.
yep,
Wow.
all these,
Okay.
I was
Okay.
starting to recognize these things because if my mom passed in 2017, I don't think I really recognized what was going on with me until 2018. And it was just like, why don't you remember these things? What's going on with you? And talking to a really, really good friend, Jennifer Pope, who's a therapist, had to help
Mhm.
me realize, well, number one, you had physical trauma from the car crash, that should have been looked at. And then you have all these other things compiled right behind it. And what I noticed was that when I would do things outside of that normal routine, you go to work, you get up, you go to work,
Mhm.
outside of that, it lit me up a little bit. But then I wouldn't do anything else for like another month or so. And then I would light up again and then I would come back down. And for whatever reason, the number 52 just kept surfacing for me. It's 52 weeks in a year. Maybe if I try to do something every week and see what that does, and I'm documenting things and I'm sharing them on social media, and everybody's like, "Well, you don't invite us, or you don't tell us this, or you don't." So I was like, "Well, let me, note all my stuff down so that way I can share it with the people."
Mhm.
And my first edition was a number of things, 52 different things you can do each week, and you journal about them because I also recognized how putting that pen to paper it helps too.
Yeah.
So I did that. It got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm asking for people to find more joy, to focus on the positive. But what if they don't have room? And I
Hmm.
also recognize that in myself is that I'm trying to do all these things, but I still have not unpacked the hard stuff. And so where the 52 weeks started is just some cute, fun journals. It has grown into a workbook series that asks for you to do some work, to unpack those negatives, to unpack those pains, to unpack the trauma. Now, it's not like, you should have a disclaimer before you start the work, but it's just
Hmm.
an additional tool outside of possibly therapy or talking to, your friends and family. But that's where it started and that's where it is now. Just like if you're on vacation and you have that one
Hmm.
suitcase. You can't put new stuff in it if you haven't unpacked the old dirty clothes. You
Those
have
are
to get it
facts.
out. You
Yeah.
have to get it out. So,
And you were the first person I saw, I think, that really encouraged folks to go throughout the journaling process, but with more prompts. And I appreciated that. Just even being able to sit down and have a question that's before you that gets you thinking differently. I know it's helpful to really kind of muster up some of those feelings. And specifically for me, I know we don't talk about emotions. And when I was a child, we didn't really talk about our feelings. So I really recognize that we are standing on a privilege of being able to tune in and ask ourselves, like, am I really happy or am I really feeling this? So, one, I'm proud of you because that process of
mm,
like connecting with yourself is not, it's kind of foreign a little bit, you know what I mean? But somehow you've still been able to find your way to yourself.
yeah.
I would ask you, what did, because we talked about the book that I showed and there was a picture on there and you said this was a different season. What did that Girl,
Here we
go ahead, talking behind my ear.
here we go, here we go.
We talking behind my
Here we
ear, but
go.
what what would that Nina or what did you learn in that season? What did that bubble of life, that segment of life teach you? Go ahead, drop us some cliff notes, girl.
I was broken. I was broken. He knows it, and it's no secret. We should have never gotten married because it wasn't out of love. It was
Mm,
out of a broken space. My mother died. I thought I didn't have anybody. We weren't even supposed to still be in a relationship. I was very broken, so I learned what that looked like, and
mhm,
um, just how I wasn't I wasn't the best version of myself. I was really just on autopilot functioning, and um, I definitely learned what I wanted out of dating and love. I learned that I really did want to be a wife. I do want to be a wife, but I also learned that if I'm not, I'll be okay.
can I ask you a question? I gotta ask you a question now, and I know that because 'cause you're actively dating, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious to know because we are in this era of everyone really getting in tune with themselves and reconnecting with self, right? And I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this era that we're in terms of people reconnecting with self and relationship? Because I think that's the toughest part is like people are actively getting to learn who they really are versus the, persona or whatever person they've kind of like projected out into the world as themselves and it's not really them. Like it's kind of like folks are really called to get back in tune and more authentic with themselves. So, what are your thoughts on like as people are becoming more aligned with self. What are you thinking about these relationships? Like, what are your thoughts there?
I am in a space right now, honestly, where if it just doesn't fit or align, if it has to be forced too much, just it's just not it.
Yeah.
I will say that I was in an experience that was so beautiful, and I can't say nothing bad about that man.
Mhm.
I got to be my 1000% authentic self. Silly and free and um had just soft.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
think that, and this is a part of like the dating inventory edition where you do the work to figure out who you are and how you show up in dating, and you cover your standards, you cover your own red flags. And
Mhm.
in that experience that I was in, he actually held a mirror up to me where I got to see that there was even some more work that I needed to do, because you only know what you know, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, having somebody else look inside the box to say, "Hey, hey, hey, you have some work there." I was
Mhm.
in a place, thankfully, because I had already started doing the work, where I
Mhm.
was open to receive him and hear what he was saying. At first, it was like, "Hey, who you think you telling?" No, but then it was like, "You know what? This man actually loves me, and he wants for me to be better, and I need to do some work." So I think that, being your authentic self is great, but also be willing to have those hard conversations about some parts of you that you might be missing, when
Mhm.
that somebody else sees about you. And it's not even just a romantic thing. Friends too. If your friends come to you and say, "Hey, that's not cool," be okay with looking at it from a perspective outside of your own,
Right.
and,
Right.
self-checking and growing from there. I hope
Right.
that answers your question.
No, it does, and I'm just processing out loud with you because, I mean, of course, in romantic relationships, there's a level of vulnerability that we explore because, I mean, we literally get naked with this person.
Right,
The value that we experience from just even our interactions with friends, because your friends can call you in too, be like, "Hey, girl,
right.
like that don't, it's this is not you," or what have you, and it can be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. So that's why I was curious because it's a little, it can make you a little bit fearful when you're thinking about, oh wow, I'm really getting vulnerable with this person and they're seeing me for who I really am. And I realize that I don't think that a lot of people like to be seen. I think a lot of people really like to put up the mask and really pretend that everything is okay. And I know personally, I'm like, I can't do that. Like if I'm feeling some type of way, you're gonna see it. But I'm also getting into understanding how emotional maturity plays a part. Like even though I'm not feeling a space or a situation or a person, that doesn't mean that I have to be toxic, volatile, nasty with my words. It could just mean I need to retreat and take a moment. But just acknowledging like I this does not work for me.
Say this, fear will cost you a lot. I am also, and I think this is with, getting older for me. I don't wanna be afraid. And if I give you the best side of myself and you mishandle that, you'll just never get it again. And I'm not gonna worry about the time, because Imma learn something from everywhere that I show up.
Yes. Yes.
But what I do know is that I will say it can be scary, but I'm just choosing to not operate in that space anymore. You will miss out before I will.
Listen, because let me tell you something, we are delicate, we are strong, but we are delicate also, and so
Yeah,
we really give the signals to the world on how to treat us, so we have to treat ourselves with respect and love and consideration, so that way
yeah.
other people know how to show up. It was funny because when we were preparing, I was like, "Come dressed colorful." You was like, "Girl, I already know who I'm pulling up to." I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you, because I mean, it's never about designer labels or anything with me. I just always want you to feel your most radiant and your most beautiful because you are that to me. And so I
Thank you.
appreciate that no problem, girl. So my next question for you is, what does like your community and your support system look like these days?
My cousins and, the friends who have become family, they know that I am the emotional one now. I think that in the years where I was out there, getting it with business, I didn't have the luxury to feel, to be vulnerable, to even be scared of much. I just didn't. And now I have become the very emotional, very loving. I am the one in the friend group that always wanna, tell them how much I care about them and love them, and they be like, "Girl, here we go again." Or, like, with my
Yes.
family and my cousins, that I'm like, "I wanna see y'all more than just the holidays," So they're there, and they welcome me. They welcome it. That is that they are my village. I'm my village, because I am taking a lot better care of myself mentally and emotionally and all the way around. Boundaries are a thing.
Yes.
Living is a
Yes.
thing. Taking up space is a thing. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay. I love that you are loud and vocal with sharing your love with people. I used to feel weird about saying I love you to folks, but then I think often about like, well, this might be the last time that I engage with people. You never know what might happen.
You
And
never
so
know.
if I feel it on my heart, like I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, like, yes, I love you, even as it pertains to just giving a kind word to somebody. Like there's no sense in me keeping it to myself. You know what I mean? If you look beautiful, I'm gonna tell you you look beautiful. It doesn't serve me to keep it bottled up inside, and it may just change the energy in your day. So go ahead and keep spreading that love like
Absolutely.
Nutella girl.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, okay. So, Miss Nina, we about to get into the style therapy of it all a little bit. What are you wearing these days? Do you feel drawn to a specific color, a specific print, or tell me how Miss Nina be showing up?
I have been in my neutral phase here lately. I've been buying a lot more neutrals. Surprisingly a lot more browns. I have been wearing lipstick more. Well, I feel like I've been toning it down on the attire, but waking it back up again with my makeup.
Okay.
I don't know, definitely more office friendly because well, let me not say that because they just gave me an award and was like, the way you come in here, you definitely proved that fashion can be professional.
Come on.
Sam
Yes.
taught me, 'cause Sam taught me.
Yes. Because we don't fit in a box, baby. We don't do
Um,
boxes.
and it is
That's what's
very,
up.
very no shade to them people, but is very like, y'all don't know no
Square.
colors? Yeah,
Square. Yeah.
no
It's,
colors.
girl, I've heard the terminology corporate cosplay, and I can't get it out of my head. Like,
What is
people go
that?
into these it's like I guess it's like the practice of just going into this corporate environment and really kinda putting on a costume. Like, people just wearing, pieces that really don't describe them who they are. It's really just like they're playing dress up for real when they go into these office spaces just to fit into the mold.
Yeah, I could see that because I've met some people, in the workspace that when we have gotten out of it, I was, "Who is that?"
Like, wait, they gave you a totally different energy outside the office than they did
Yes,
inside?
yes,
Huh,
completely, completely,
really?
completely, completely, completely. Meanwhile, I am still Imma wild your life out in the office and out.
You know what though? But I think that speaks to just the entrepreneur in you. Like there's just it ain't on you. It's literally in you. That energy of just like I've created something from the ground up. Like you carry that with you everywhere you go into, even if it's just like, well, I'm in a space now where I kind of have to conform. I'ma still figure out how to make this
Can
work
make
for
this
me.
work. Yes,
Like,
yes.
I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all want me to color between these lines, but I mean, Imma go ahead and do something. Imma double up with some marker and then shade it in with the color pencil in the middle. Like, you're gonna
Same
find your
sequence in the
own way.
office. Yes.
There we go. You said sequin in the office, you better.
We did come across somebody that complained about it.
Boo, go home, Roger.
Yeah. I
No.
was like, "Y'all really y'all okay."
And they probably wearing all kinds of navy blues and flat blacks just 'cause they feel like that's professional. But, I mean, I do think that we can benefit from expanding the professional conversation. And professional wardrobe. It doesn't have to be just the boring basic blacks, browns, grays. Like we can infuse some color and
Yeah.
still keep it appropriate and keep those silhouettes fun and structured. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, give me some neutrals these days, give me some reds. Chartreuse is a favorite of mine, so I like the neutrals, but I need my bolds too.
Yes. Chartreuse is one of my favorite colors. I even just love saying it. It just sounds very sophisticated and
Yes,
fancy to me, you know? Truth. Yes. So, okay, so what's next for you, Miss Nina B? How can we send some good vibes your way? Tell us what you got popping.
I am more focused. Do I still bartend? I do. It's selective, more corporate.
Okay.
Some clients that have been grandfathered in. If certain people, need it for me to do it, I do it, but, tagging me in a post because a random person needs a bartender, I don't want that kind of stress in my life no more. I absolutely love having weekends to live. I enjoy having a summer. And I think that in my last relationship, I only realized it, just recently that I drug that man all over the place. And when I tell you every weekend we were going somewhere, it was
Hmm.
because I had not had that in years. In years. I didn't take the break until I was 14 years in business. Even the holidays, I was working on Christmas. I've worked into birthdays, so really being able to get a good balance of life now it just matters more to me, but I still do it.
Yeah.
I have certifications in so many event things. I do event plan. I do, help people still, curate themes and their events. But I am staying with the 52-week experience because I just want people to feel better. I want people to feel better. I want them to find themselves. I want them to connect with their loved ones. I want for them to, slow their minds down in color. Um, that has been really big for me. I'm sticking with the coloring. Yeah, the adult ones, the X-rated ones they sell like crack.
Girl, I was about to say that because I know you had listen, it was definitely some finessing going on in the coloring books, okay? Because those I love what you said, helping people to slow down. It's a lot of quick, fast overstimulation from the technology to just even feeling like you can do it all because everything is so accessible. Everybody has a voice now on social media. So I love that you're encouraging folks to quiet the noise and really tune in. I
Yeah,
think that's revolutionary as hell. I think that that really is kind of like kind of more of an anti-message to what the world is pumping to us. I'm with that too. Let's slow down. Let's think about this because a lot of the times we're making these decisions because we're trying to race against the clock. We're on a hamster wheel, whatever you want to label it. It's just not. We're not thinking holistically and in a way that's sustainable to the lives that we want to create. So I'm with you on that one.
yeah. Nobody has time for anything these days. Like, never, nothing. How do you
But it's crazy because it's like, if you think about it, you do have time, but you're kind of constantly keeping up with something, so you feel like you don't have time. But if you were to slow down and think and take inventory, you could probably cut the fat on some areas and find some extra time to do things that would benefit you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't remember I remember, always spending time with my cousins growing up
Mhm.
or,
Mhm.
the cookouts and just I don't know, just more connecting more with other people. And it wasn't like a just being at a party kinda thing.
Yeah.
It was family and community. I don't know, but,
Miss it. I miss it.
yeah.
I miss pulling up and just being on, like, a porch and just having conversations with the homies
Yeah.
and, like, I mean, I know COVID did a number on us, but since then, it's just still been this kind of weird silo isolation moment that now it's like everybody's looking around like, "Well, how can we build community when we really don't know each other? We gotta break these walls down again and really just be with one another." You know what I mean? Let's just hang out. Let's just chill. Let's not try to create something. Let's just be in each
Yeah.
other's company and get to know each other
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
another brunch with a grass wall. I'll come over your house.
Baby, don't do it. Listen,
First of all, my pockets, all I
child,
got was
look, cause
pancakes and it's $75. I'm cool.
don't tell me, cause look, I'll pull up at your house in a caftan and a turban and just be like, "You want some tea? We just gonna sit down and drink tea and just talk."
Cook.
Like,
Yes.
it's a date. Say less. That's what I'm on right now. Like, I'm very much a
Yeah.
quiet, insular. I don't have to I love getting dressed, but
Yeah.
even the practice of getting dressed and going out and putting the heels on and going to it's like,
But
sometimes
you
my
know what
energy
I
is just
wanna
not
do one
there.
day?
What?
And it's gonna happen in 2026. I wanna get, super and I just saw a post yesterday where
Mhm.
this young lady had her birthday party at Popeyes, and her friends dressed up, and I started asking everybody, "Well, what would your place be?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"I want Sardi's or Chipotle or" no, seriously, and I had said it. I said, "I wanna get super dressed up, go to Chick-fil-A and just take some pictures
Okay.
and eat my nuggets inside. Cause how often do people
Listen,
go inside and eat anywhere anymore?
I like that idea. To me, that speaks to this idea of like we should be romanticizing our lives. I'm in partnership and romance be like meh, meh, meh. But what I will do is treat myself like a princess and a queen at every single moment, like really make a big deal out of the small moments. I think we should do that for ourselves first. And then energetically, I think that will come back to us. So I say put the sequin gown on, go to Chick-fil-A and sit up there and look very fabulous. And everybody's gonna ask you all the questions like, "Ooh, what are you doing?"
Yeah, nothing.
You know what? Don't even worry about the others because there is something to romanticizing your own life, going outside and being a weirdo. Maybe you'll impact somebody else to do the same. We need to be
Yeah.
doing more of it. I love it, I love it. Well, this was great. I'm so happy we got to catch up.
Yeah,
Thank you for
same,
joining me.
same.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you
me.
for having
You're so
me.
welcome.